Wow, a notification that's quick this time.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Apparently we are online. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Hangout. So, first of all, I'd like to apologize that I haven't been able to stream in the last few weeks. Work has really been annoying, and I actually needed the Hangouts, the weekends to relax a little bit. Because working with 4 or 5 chromatography columns per week fucks you up at some point or another. But now, since the stressy part is over, I guess I might be able to do this at least once every 2 weeks. So we'll see. Second of all, unfortunately, not everybody who I would like to have in here has joined already. Some people, I think, just haven't seen the notification yet that I've messaged them. But there's enough material and enough people to talk about and to talk with. So for this Hangout today, I think there are 3 possibilities which we could do. First of all, MrThriveAndSurvive has uploaded a bunch of new videos which we could talk about. Second of all, Mr. Antonio Subirats has done something similar. Or something that I just saw maybe half an hour ago is a list of questions that apparently atheists can't answer. And I would like to answer them. Yeah. So those are the 3 possibilities. Let's actually ask the audience for their opinion. So vote 1 or type in 1 in the side chat if you want to talk about MrThriveAndSurvive. A 2 for Antonio Subirats, or a 3 about a weird apologetics article. Oh, and Sly, I think I already sent you the join link, didn't I?
What was 1 and 2?
1 is MrThriveAndSurvive, 2 is Antonio Subirats, or 3 is an apologetics article. Just to make sure I've sent you.
I see more 2s than all the other numbers.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Arthur Risanen voted for all 3, so I guess his voice doesn't count anymore for anything. Yeah, but yeah, I agree. It looks like either 1 or 2. There's almost no 3s in there. 1.
I think I see more. I think I see more 2s. Now are roughly equal 1 and 2.
Yeah, roughly equal. Unfortunately, another 1.
Another 1.
A 7. Oh dear.
Okay, 5 number 2, and let's see, 8 number 1 is what I get it. Get
okay.
Up to.
Okay.
That sounds like a number 1 to me.
Yep.
Yay.
69.
Woohoo.
Okay. So.
No. 68.999.
Oh dear. So, MrThriveAndSurvive. Let's just start with the newest one. NASA model busted again, Equinox fail. What do you guys think?
Yeah, let's just dive into the stupid from the get-go.
Oh dear.
Oh, the Equinox. I did an experiment on that a year ago. And I got a straight line from the shadow.
So, before we start, let's actually do this in the 2-minute interruption method. So we just let the video run for 2 minutes and then talk about whatever has been said, except for if there's something so stupid that I have to interrupt it.
Well, for example, that's probably the likelihood that it will happen.
Yeah. Yes, for example, the excruciatingly long intro, unless he's cut it down, of course.
Can you then skip the intro then? Then we'll.
Yeah.
Let's just let that run.
40 seconds or something.
Let's just let the intro run and then see whether it's. Oops.
Hey everyone, Rich MrThrive.
Oh, 10 seconds.
Oh, dang.
This is going to be an interesting.
Thank you.
Probably won't be too long, but we're going to expose another lie that is in the globe model. Interesting to see how people can explain this. I'm open for explanation, so please leave a comment if you can explain this. Let's understand a few things here. We're told that the equinox this year is on September 22nd. Actually, just passed 3 days ago, right? This is something that happens twice a year on the equinox. Let me switch over here to a diagram. This is a rather crude diagram, but you have March and September are the equinox states. Now, even though the word equinox suggests equal, this is where you have an equal amount of daylight in the northern hemisphere and in the southern hemisphere. It's a 12-hour day, 12-hour night, and it happens September 22nd, 23rd every year, March 20th, 21st, 22nd, give or take a day or two. And the other dates to note are the solstice dates, which is December 21st, which you have the longest night in the northern hemisphere and the longest day in the southern hemisphere, if you believe that model. And the opposite is true on the June solstice. But we're going to look at this right here. This is more important here because we have equals here on these two dates. Now, let's take a look at this another way. I know some people are more visual than others. What you should look at here is this nice little line going around the center here, which represents where the sun is on the equinox dates here.
Pause.
And
Oh dear.
Can I make a prediction?
Sure.
This is going to be a can't have an equinox when the Earth is tilted. Want to bet?
I think he was about to say that since we don't have equal day and night on the equinox, then it is wrong.
Okay. Keep going.
Yeah, I think he just doesn't know how the equinox is measured, right?
Well, because I've heard
Things-
1,000 times from different flat earthers and stuff like that, you can't have an equinox because the Earth's tilted. Which is total bullshit anyway. but
Well,
anyway.
we'll see. By the way, there's somebody in this side chat already pointing out that MrThriveAndSurvive already lied because he is blocking critical comments sometimes.
Oh, more garbage.
By the way,
Sometimes I've been blocked on that channel for like 2 years.
yeah, I was about to say, about a few months back, maybe 6 or 7 months back, I had the habit on posting lengthy comments under his videos, pretty much debunking every sentence. And after like 5 or 6 of those comments I made, he just blocked me.
Well, we're 1/5 of the way through, though.
Yep, that's true.
Then you are kind of a meanie, aren't you?
More garbage.
Dang.
Yeah, more garbage.
Go for it.
now this is where the sun is directly over the equator. So we do have that equal amount of daylight in the northern hemisphere and in the southern hemisphere. So let's take a look at one more chart here. Here's another one. Let's take a look at it here. The vernal equinox here. You know, the Earth is supposedly tilted 23.5 degrees with 66.6 degrees. Coincidence, but
Yes.
Yes, coincidence. Get over it.
And not even a coincidence. Geez, you're making a subtraction off of a quarter of a circumference. That is so stupid.
again,
Well, still off the devil or something.
and it's within a day or two every year, except this year it's a lie. Let's go back to it again. So here we have it.
Can I
September.
make another prediction?
Sure.
I think he's going to complain about why sometimes the equinox is on the 22nd and sometimes on the 21st.
Hey,
Yeah,
no changing your predictions.
Because he doesn't understand how the equinox is actually measured.
No, I will predict both, that both will happen.
Okay, so the way the equinox is measured is you go to a location on the equator, and the equinox at that exact moment in time when the sun is directly overhead at solar noon.
All right, let's keep moving. I broke the rule of 2 minutes. Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
Was
you
it?
lose 50 internet points.
Give us the exact time on Saturday, September 22nd. So on Saturday, September 22nd, the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, they both should have 12-hour days and 12-hour nights on this particular day, except they didn't. Now, I waited till today just to verify
Bingo.
observation.
Yep.
Bingo. I was
That's
right.
right.
He was just being happy. More garbage.
More garbage.
If they correlated with date and time, let's take a look at that too. Now, I was first alerted to this year to take a look at it. Probably wouldn't have even paid attention by Dave Marsh in the UK. Thank you, Dave, for this. He first mentioned that the equinox was way off this year. So let's see.
2
So-
minutes.
Get it from my location.
Stop.
Wherever you
Stop. He just said way off this year. Look at the sunrise and sunset time on what he's showing right there. I don't even know the town. I can't see it.
Somewhere in New Mexico, I think that is.
So to him, it's off by 2 minutes. Which also, you need to also understand that, what do you call it, Dan? I found out that timeanddate.com doesn't exactly, or doesn't always have just a spherical Earth, but they do take elevations into account to the east and west. But anyway, 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'm wondering, did he try to do this with a location that is on the other side, well, with a different longitude? Because obviously that should matter.
Yeah, let's make sure which time zone this is.
Yes, exactly.
an
So
indicator
we're
of, yeah.
in.
Well, time zone won't do much to it, but geographic shit will.
I just saw a sick video, I think it was, where one of the flatards he was making fun of made that. No, it's Conspiracy Cats, where maybe Antonia, I think, made that ridiculous mistake of whoopsie messing up time zones and using it as evidence for.
He
his
also
unfailure.
thought time zones prove the flat Earth for some reason, which was
Yeah, I mean, didn't he mix
everything
up?
proves it. Just ask Debbie.
Didn't he mix up the summer and or daylight savings time and non-daylight savings time problems when he was trying to measure the path of the sun over Europe?
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Or was it the time zones? I actually don't remember.
Well, I will beat myself for saying this, but to be fair, whether a time zone or a certain country is in standard time or daylight savings time can be rather confusing sometimes because it's a big mix. I mean, every country decides when they want to start and stop their daylight savings time.
That's not
it could
completely
be.
correct. At least in the EU, it's synchronized.
Is it?
Yes, in the EU, it's synchronized.
I have a question. Is daylight defined as sunrise and sunset, or
daylight would
where
be that
exactly,
duration?
for example, does it count? Does it count like when the entire disk of the sun is visible, or just the first line, or the middle of it, or whatever? That's the question. That's actually those 2 minutes could fit quite well for that.
Yeah.
And plus, here's another thing about the daylight times. The equinox itself is not set to occur at noon everywhere on the planet.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's just one specific point in time.
It's a specific point in time, and in this particular case, it occurs between the 25th and the 26th. And what do you call it? And so him picking out the 25th, saying that it's like 2 minutes short and all this. Well, the 26th is 2 minutes long. So that means that it occurred through the night. Because what I'm looking at right now on my screen, unless I'm mistaken, New York City and Madrid are on the same longitude or latitude, and I'm finding them to be basically identical. So.
Hey, Sean is here. Hi, Sean.
Hi, guys.
What's
Hey
up?
there.
I'm taking my break early because this is painful. The reason why this is painful is Thrive and Survive made one crucial error and based his entire premise on that.
Yeah, well, as I said, Sean, it's the fact that he's trying to measure the point in time when the solstice occurs by actually daylight time and not by the position of the sun over the equator.
You are wrong.
I'm wrong. Okay.
You are wrong. Thrive and Survive's fundamental error is he's complaining about the sunrise and the sunsets not being exactly 12 hours, which means it's not equal day and night. His flaw is sunrise and sunset are based when the top of the sun is either first appearing or at last disappearing over the horizon. The equinox is measured by the center of the sun.
Oh, God. Well, yeah.
You mean the day versus, sidereal day? Or what is it called?
So
No,
that's a
he's
minute on each
making-
side. One.
Yes, he's making the point that I was trying to talk about earlier. That when exactly does daylight count in this diagram?
Yeah.
Right,
Which
so-
part of
that
the
was my
sun
que-
must be
that
over
was my-
the horizon
yeah.
for it to count as a day?
That's
So if
exactly
we-
my question. Also.
Yeah. So if we equate it out, the sun is half a degree, but you got a quarter of a degree per minute. So therefore, there's the 2 minutes back.
You know what? I'm gonna
2
fire
minutes.
up Stellarium.
2 minutes at sunrise, 2 minutes at sunset means a 4-minute difference.
Yeah,
Right.
and also atmospheric refraction makes the sun rise earlier and set later,
This part is
a tiny bit, but still a few minutes or so.
Okay, so let me share my other screen. So that was somewhere in New Mexico, wasn't it? Just gonna eyeball it because it doesn't really matter that much. So approximately.
But yes, on the equinox
Yeah.
dates, you are expected to have 12 hours and 4 minutes of sunlight.
Not just light, but sun, actually visible sun.
Direct sunlight, yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Not
let's-
the first appearance of the sun or the full disk. Is that
The first-
is there even
At sunrise, it is when the sun first appears on the horizon.
Oh yeah.
So as
yeah.
soon as you see the top edge of it, that is
Okay, cool.
sunrise.
Okay, so
And that makes this time longer. Yes, that makes the time
Yeah.
longer.
okay, guys, I set the position to Phoenix. I guess that's close enough.
You're not sharing.
Oh, I'm not sharing. Oy, oy, oy.
I mean, I'm not seeing any longitude lines on a night.
There we go. So,
And it's
again,
rotating
I
too
set
fast
the
either.
location to Phoenix, Arizona. As you can see, I'm at Phoenix, Arizona now. Let's change time zone to, that's -7, I guess.
Phoenix?
Yeah.
I think it would be -7 now. Well, Phoenix. Was it Arizona that doesn't do daylight savings time?
Well, whatever. It's not that important. We just have to measure the amount of hours the sun is overhead.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna set it to -7.
I
Yeah.
lose you.
If atmospheric refraction was the factor and
The fuck is it?
if the equinox was like an entire day, then the sunrise would be
+7?
the sunrise and sunset would be equally apart from each other. But it's not the case.
Why is it now at +7? What the fuck?
Yeah,
-7.
here's something that Rich does not do in his video. He actually uses a location north of the equator to test the equinox date, and he tests it for like 3 or 4 days afterwards, where it would actually be 12 hours of daylight, when you can first see the sun until where you no longer see the sun. But he doesn't do the same date south of the equator because it's more than 12 hours by about 4 minutes.
Okay, so let's see. You see the line in the middle, this one here. That's plus 0 degrees elevation, so that's the horizon.
It's not the correct date yet.
Oh yes, 22.
No, 25. That's what he's got.
Yes, but he was wrong because he's thinking it's a 25 while it's a 22.
Oh, I'm not saying he was right. I'm just saying that's the date he's got.
Well, yeah, okay. Let's go for 25 and measure that first, and then later let's go for 22nd. So time. So the middle of the sun. Oh, I think I have to disable the atmosphere. There we go.
See, it makes the sun a little bit higher with the atmosphere.
Yeah,
and that's also a factor. It's just a couple of minutes, I think, but still.
So let's see. So that's 6, 22, and 45 approximately.
Well, and that's like as far as I'm aware, and I don't have anything to back this up. I do not think that time and date actually accounts for refraction.
Yes, I think so. And that's why it makes the time a bit shorter because of atmospheric refraction.
No,
Yeah,
it makes
into-
time.
Oh, it takes into
Time
account.
longer.
Oh, it takes into account.
Yeah, I'd like to see some documentation on that because as far as I know, it doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't.
Which is why it has a 2-minute longer sunrise and a 2-minute longer sunset because it's not based on the sun or the sun.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, so on this day in Phoenix, forgetting about the atmosphere, the sun rises at 6 at 22:45 and it sets at 18:16:45. So that's 6 minutes
minutes.
less than 12 hours. Okay. Let's do
And
the same thing.
Arizona is -7 hours.
Yes, let's do the same thing. 3
Say
days
those times
earlier.
again, Gio, because I think you did math wrong.
6:22:45 to 18:16:45. That's 6 minutes.
4 minutes.
6 minutes.
Am I going backwards here?
Yeah,
Wait a
6 minutes.
Wait a minute. You
I
said
thought you said 42 and 45. That's or 42 and
45
46.
seconds.
yeah, but are you something's wrong off here because what do you call it? Those are the sunrise and sunset times for the 28th.
No, for the
Oh yeah,
25th.
you have to move it 12 hours.
I have to move it 12 hours. Why
No,
do I
no,
have to move it?
I'm just saying the information that's on timeanddate.com says that 6:20 to 18:16 is sunrise and sunset on the 28th.
Yes, but that includes the refraction of the atmosphere, right?
That answer I couldn't tell you.
Because I've disabled this for here because we're just dealing with the geometry right now.
Then go to the actual equinox date. Not
Yes,
the 28th.
that's the next plan. So 22nd. Let's go back to 6 whatever. Where is it? There's somewhere. Okay, so here we're at 6:20. Approximately here, I think. 6:20:35 to look, it's directly. I just switched for 12 hours and it's directly on the horizon line. 18:20:58. So that's exactly 12 hours.
And then if you take atmospheric refraction,
Yes, if I enable that, then obviously
Yeah.
the result will be a little bit different.
yeah.
So
And I believe that is also a factor of why the time is shorter.
So on the same day, let's go for the same day.
Yeah.
Sunset would be approximately here, wouldn't it? So
Yeah.
that's 18:23.
That matches what's on timeanddate.com.
See?
Let's check. Let's
You-
check.
you- you're
Wait,
right,
stop.
Oh, sorry.
Let's check the sunrise.
Should be at about 17.
Yep,
Okay, so
that's closer to
just to
18,
confirm,
close to 18 actually.
just to confirm, then on the on timeanddate.com they do take into account refraction
Yep,
Okay.
so that's at
Yeah.
40, I guess.
because when you had refraction off, you were giving me date or times that were basically matching almost exactly the 28th.
Yes, but again, what is important is the geometry of this entire thing.
Nee, das verstehe ich alles. But I'm just saying that the times weren't matching up exactly, but now the times are matching up exactly with
Yeah.
atmospheric refraction.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay. So as we showed that we showed that on the 22nd, which is the official equinox date, for the location that MrThriveAndSurvive gave, you have exactly to the minute 12 hours of daylight time when you take into account that, well, when you don't take the refraction of the atmosphere into account,
Right. Otherwise, you have
which
it
is
longer.
the prediction that the model makes.
Right. Otherwise, you have it longer. So
Exactly.
sorry, Rich, you're wrong again.
Well, he's just going to say, well, you're just using Stellarium, the propaganda program by the globists.
Yeah, the fake CGI
Yeah.
animation thingy.
Oops. Shall we continue with this? More garbage?
No garbage.
So I'll share this one again.
Or you're going to get the same thing because the equinox is equinox, no matter where you are. It's equal. And what do we have here? The 22nd right here. And this was supposed to be the equinox date. equal day, equal night. Well, I clicked on the 22nd. Sorry. Let's go to the 21st here. We have sunrise at 6:15 a.m. and sunset at 6:26 p.m. Now, I verified these times. They are correct. And we have a problem, just like Houston had.
Say again, please. Houston, we have a problem.
The daylight length is 12 hours, 10 minutes. All right. So much for the 21st, or did they say the 22nd? Let's look at that one more time. September 22nd was the date. Okay. First day of autumn, September 22nd. So we come back here. The 22nd, what do we have? 12 hours, 8 minutes. It's still not the equinox date. So that's wrong. Let's go to the 23rd. Sunrise 6:17 a.m. Sunset at 6:23. 12 hours 6 minutes. Nope, not equinox. There's a 2 hour and 3 minute difference from the day before. So the days are still getting shorter. And the 24th, that was yesterday. 6:17 a.m. 6:22 p.m. Still too long.
Oh my God, is he going to go through each one?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
6:18 a.m. 6:20 p.m. 2 minutes too long.
3 hours
Okay,
later.
Gio. Okay, Gio.
Tomorrow, the
Yeah.
Now what you need to do is find an equal latitude that's south of the equator and go to the same dates.
Sure. So
And then how many? Okay, he's heading right now
actually,
for the 20.
that's very easy to do because take a look at my stellarium.
Okay, can't see it.
So yeah, I'm screen sharing it right now.
Yep.
Okay, I'm currently still at Phoenix, United States. And all I have to do is erase that N, replace it by an S, and we're somewhere in the southern Pacific Ocean.
Okay, Gio, here's what you got to do. Because what he wants to show there, I think it was on the 26th, is when it looked like it says 12 hours exactly, within a couple of seconds.
Yes.
Yes, on the 26th. So the actual one was on the 22nd. So
Yes.
let's see,
I'm still on the 22nd. Let's start here, okay?
No. But listen where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Okay, he's saying that the equinox is actually occurring on the 26th because it's 12 hours of sunlight. Okay, so what I'm thinking is, since it's 1, 2, 3, 4 days before is the actual equinox, you need to go in stellarium to 4 days after the 26th, so in this case the 30th, and see if you get the exact same results as what's on
the 22nd on the northern hemisphere.
Well, no. Well, I'm just saying because what it's going to show is that the equinox, the amount of time will have changed the same way between the 22nd and the 30th, and then that'll show that the equinox was actually the 12 hours sunlight that he's looking for has to do with
stop.
refraction.
Like, let's do it this way. When he's saying that the 26th is the actual equinox, that means that when we are on the northern hemisphere 4 days ahead of the equinox, on the 22nd, we will have the same times for sunrise and sunset as we would have on the southern hemisphere on the same time after the equinox.
That's true.
If I check the 30th now, on the southern hemisphere, I should get this, well, on the same latitude and longitude, obviously, I should get the same sunset and sunrise times as I should get for the 22nd in Phoenix. Right?
Go for it.
Okay, so remember, we're on the southern hemisphere, so this is sunrise. And we're at 6, 7, well, let's say 6, 8. Is that fair to say?
Okay.
About 6, 7.
I think you're off by a line, aren't you?
26, 22nd. I just have to write all this shit down. 30th. So southern. That's at 0608 and woof. I think 0608 is pretty much dead on, isn't it? Yeah. 5 seconds. 7:55. Let's do it correctly. Okay, and sunset Well, no, actually, let me switch off the atmosphere and do it again, because for the northern hemisphere, I just have the data without the atmosphere. So that's at, where is it? Fucking equator. There it is. Six, 10, 37. Okay, and sunset.
Without refraction.
Yes. Where the fuck is it? There we go.
It's only the sun, man.
I think once you're done, we pretty much debunked it till then. So we
I think, yeah.
you should go play the video once more after this.
So this is 1826-23. So for the 30th on the southern hemisphere, we get a length of 6 hours and 16 minutes. Now on the 22nd, we got a day length of exactly 12 hours, up to like 15 seconds or so, on the northern hemisphere at the same latitude. So by that alone, we can show that the 26th, well, on the 26th, we have 6 minutes exactly. So that's not directly in the middle between the two values. Therefore, the 26th cannot be
The equinox.
the equinox.
I was just saying go to timeanddate.com with a equivalent latitude that is equal to Phoenix in the southern hemisphere and show that his 12 hours does not work on the 26th.
More garbage.
Well, it's the same result, Sean.
No,
isn't it?
he's going to get the 12 hours also on that day in the southern hemisphere because of
26th.
refraction. Yeah, because of refraction. We just
I
showed
challenge that fly.
No, I think Sean's right. It shouldn't be the same value.
Hold on.
Well, I'm just saying he's basing all of his evidence on timeanddate.com, but he's failing to go to an equivalent latitude south of the equator because he knows it destroys his argument.
Okay, so Phoenix.
More garbage.
Go ahead and
No,
do that.
not more garbage, not necessarily.
Hold on a second here.
Okay, Sly, I'm just screen
Yeah,
sharing.
you go on further. Oh, you go on further, man. You go on further.
Okay.
Let me get all this together here, because I got to find something and see on the same spot in south.
Okay, let's do more garbage in the meantime while Sly is figuring that out.
Go for it.
26th. If everything holds true, like it has been holding true with particularly the sunsets, I've verified each one of them. Sunset tomorrow will be at 6:19, or sunrise will be at 6:19 a.m. Sunset will be at 6:19 p.m. That's exactly 12 hours. Of course, it's a few seconds more, but the actual equinox date will be tomorrow. How come they're not saying that? Well, because that would be 4 days off. So is the Earth off in its orbit? It's 4 days off. How can you explain that in the model? That's
Stop. We just explained it in the model. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm trying to make this simple for him to understand by using his own method.
Hey, guess
Yeah,
what's south
good luck.
on the same line? Sydney,
What's that?
Australia.
Well, on the 26th, what was the sunrise and sunset time according to Mr. ThriveAndSurvive?
Well, hold on. I just found it. I got to type, dude.
Type faster. I'm on break here.
No. Okay, so the 26th, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oops. Am I in the right month? Oh, shit. It's in October.
Hmm.
That ain't gonna help
Screen
me.
share you?
Yeah, let me move this out of the way here. Move that out of
Yeah,
the
you
way
have to
here.
close all of your porn that's running
Yeah.
in the background.
And the hate mail that I'm writing to Reds. And let's see. And then Phoenix. This is set to. Oh, I'm sorry. I got a screen share, don't I?
Is there a fucking airplane somewhere behind you?
Not me.
That's me actually.
The hell,
Okay,
Sean?
screen sharing.
Yep.
All
Yeah,
right.
screen share.
Let's see what we got here. So, as he said, on the 26th in Phoenix, 12 hours and 7 seconds. So let's go to Sydney on the 26th.
Much more, isn't it?
12 hours and 14 minutes. Sorry, the equinox was not the 26th.
What is on the 22nd down there in Sydney?
Yeah, on the 22nd, they should actually both be identical and
Ac-
both should be over 12
actually-
hours.
Actually, it would be the 23rd in Sydney because of the
Well,
time,
yeah,
because
okay.
of UTC.
Okay, yeah. That's,
Okay,
yeah.
well, let's just look at 22nd, so we don't confuse the boy. Let's see. 12:08 and 20 versus 12:05. However, there we go. 23rd in Sydney. 12:07, so it's off by about 40 seconds. And let's not forget, down south, it's a little bit fatter. So
There you go, Thrive and Survive. Your own method debunks your entire premise.
right, equinox happened on the 22nd, as stated. Period.
I still have my prediction that he's going to complain about why sometimes it is on the 22nd and sometimes it's on the 21st.
Yeah, well, guess what? Time isn't perfect to our watch.
But in the meantime, I'm dropping out so I can go back to work.
Have fun.
Unfortunately, I have to drop out as well because I got to finish this other video before I go to bed tonight.
Oh, dear Sly, that's a shame.
Yeah.
So be ready for me to piss off the folks at FE Core.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
wait, Sly, actually take the chance and shit yourself.
What do you mean?
Well, if you want to give a little hint on what exactly you will be talking about today, you can do so now.
Oh, sure. Real quick, I had a discussion in the comment section below one of my videos with the president of FE Core, Mike Kavanaugh, aka
That's
what?
flat earth astronomy, isn't it?
How dare you say flat Earth in association with FE
Oh,
Core?
I'm sorry. Field engineering.
Right. But nevertheless, yes, FE Astronomy, who is Mike Kavanaugh, who is the president of FE Core, we went back and forth on how, on all of these laser tests, there is no display of how the laser device itself was leveled. Because obviously, if you want to check something to be flat versus spherical, as far as the surface goes, you have to level your laser.
Correct me if I'm wrong there, but didn't he just point it at the horizon?
Now, no spoilers,
I'm
but
sorry, but that has been known for a few days at least, probably.
no,
more.
I know. I was actually the first one that brought it up when the PDF came out. But Mike Kavanaugh decided that he wanted to come at me about his leveling method was correct and usable, and I'm about to show why that's not true. So, and per his own words, because before the actual thread starter, who was not Mike Kavanaugh, deleted the thread for another reason, I screen capped the whole thing. So
Yeah, I was about to ask. I hope you have that saved because it sounds hilarious.
of course I do. See, what y'all don't realize is sometimes those minutes that it takes me to respond to is not because of the fact that I'm slow at typing. It's because of the fact that I'm screen capping the bullshit. So anyway, so that video will be out tonight. I've already done the audio for it. I've already done all the slides for it and stuff like that. Now I just got to cut it together. So anyway,
Okay.
thanks for having me on there,
Have fun with
Gio.
it then.
Sure thing, Sly. And
Thanks,
thanks
Sly.
for joining.
Done, bis done next.
Bye.
Servus.
Viel Glück.
Well, cool. More,
Okay,
more
I've just seen that Young Blue Skeptic is in the side chat. I've actually sent you the invite link as well, so you can join if you want to.
more garbage?
Yes, more garbage.
Yay.
Yay.
That's what I want to have explained. This is a lie. And people might say,
Stop. Yeah, no, it's not. You just don't understand how we measure this.
Well, you know what? There's a good way of stopping this lie.
Let's
yeah,
play more. Let's play more.
Just prevent him from speaking. That would do it.
The 2-minute rule. Remember, 2-minute
Yeah,
rule.
yeah. Let's be a little bit more strict about this.
I've tried to think of all the cognitive dissonance stuff that could come out. Well, this is we're midway between leap years. Okay, well, leap year adjusts for 1 day out of 4. Correct? Each year would be a quarter year off, so we'd have
And there we have my prediction. Yay! 2 predictions fulfilled.
Congratulations.
right now. So that's not it. And besides, if that's it, okay, so we reached a part in the Earth's orbit where instead of the 22nd, it's taking a whole 4 days longer to get to the equinox
What?
date.
No.
So
Stop. So regarding the leap years, he is correct. There are leap years, and the worst thing that could happen to those equinoxes would be that they're just 1 day earlier.
Yeah.
In the calendar, for the simple reason that there's 1 day in February, which is prior in the year to both equinoxes. So all the equinoxes would at most be shifted 1 day ahead, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
if it's off because of leap years or whatever, then we should have an issue with December, shouldn't we? December should also be late in the solstice. If the Earth is 4 days slow in its orbit to get here, then let's take a look at December and see what happens. Okay, here's December, Phoenix. Let's go down and see if the solstice date is the 21st, like it usually is, the 2nd. So we're looking for the short.
Oh, stop. The side chat has just been absolute gold again. Take a look at that. The person called People of Earth asked whether I was German, and both me and Maeve64 answered jawohl.
For the stay.
Und das ist nicht ein Befehl.
Daylight length of 9:56:10, 9:56:11, and 9:56:11. So the shortest day is right here. It's the December 21st, right on time. So if this is right on time, why do we have an issue where we are up to 5 days late?
We don't have one.
To show you
Sorry.
how. Here we are.
Yeah, stop again. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I just couldn't help it. We is wrong. He should have said I.
Yes, that's the first thing. And second of all, why the hell didn't he bother to research this? And like, how long did it take me to simulate this in Stellarium? 30 seconds?
Proper research for flurfers is kryptonite. So that's probably the best explanation of
Yeah,
that.
never use the word flat earth and research in the same sentence. It's a bad mistake.
Oh, I'm sorry.
22nd or 23rd, they're showing for the autumnal equinox. And then we go to the solstice on December 21st, 22nd. So in its orbit, we are actually, since it's going to be the 26th, even if you use the 23rd date, it's 3 days slow in its orbit. So this year, so we're actually back here somewhere on the 22nd or 23rd. We're not reaching here until the 26th. So does that mean that we're going to go faster this year? Because we know the winter solstice is going to come up right on time. What is it this year? Well, I have a nice little theory. You've probably heard me say before.
Stop. Does anybody want to make any predictions?
I'll just go broadband. He'd be stupidity.
Well, yeah, that's certainly granted, I think.
That would cover it, I think.
First of all, he used the word theory. I don't like it.
It should be illegal for anyone to use the word in a non-scientific manner.
Okay, so here's my prediction for this. He's claiming that in our model, the orbit of the Earth would be more eccentric than in other years. Let's see.
Well, eccentric would fit well with this guy, so.
God.
Before that, I
Yeah.
do see the sun directly, and I think that can be proven. That's for another video. But what if the sun and its reflection that we see is on something like the moon's 19-year cycle? You know, the moon is.
Okay, I was wrong. Wrong prediction.
Did he
That-
just
that's
pull
even
a
worse.
woulda, coulda, shoulda?
Yes, I think.
Nice. Therefore, I am not a flatty. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I just finished your sentence. Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. By the way, hello, Yanko Skeptic.
Hello, young man.
Hi everyone.
Hey, how are you?
Hey.
I'm okay.
It's a shame you have to endure the stupid in this video.
I do so all the time.
Okay, do
Yeah,
you
so
have any
you're starting
predictions
to
for
get
what,
immune to it then.
do you have any predictions on what this guy's gonna claim next?
That the equinox isn't actually the thing that happens.
The equinox doesn't happen. Okay.
And it's something else.
Somewhere between an 18 and 19-year cycle, one of its cycles anyway, before the moon comes back exactly where it was 19 years ago. Maybe the sun has the exact same thing, and we haven't.
What?
Yeah.
Except what? No. What the hell?
I mean, well, when he's saying 19-year cycle, is he talking about a change in the orbit of the moon, or is he change what? I don't know what he's talking about.
Is there an oscillation to the elliptical orbit the moon has in relation to Earth?
There should
and
be.
that
Yes.
cycle is 19 years, maybe.
I don't know if the cycle is 19 years, but there definitely is an oscillation there.
And in any case, if this is the case, what significance would this have?
I mean, he said earlier that it would be a reflection of the moon. So is he claiming that the sun is actually a reflection on the moon, which would make no sense whatsoever?
No, that doesn't make sense.
I know it doesn't make sense.
Being
That's the
reflected
point.
on the moon, that's the way it goes.
Oof. Okay.
No, he doesn't. He's not one of those morons. Sorry.
Yes. Not yet, at least.
Been told that we're seeing a sun 23 million miles away, 93 million miles away in the sky, which is hocus pocus BS. But this is another lie. I would like to see someone who defends the globe model be able to explain this. Maybe it can be explained and I don't see it. But
Stop. So I see this as a challenge. Which we just
hang on, Young Blue, you have a you have dirt in your connectors.
I muted him. Yeah, I muted him.
Yeah.
Sorry, Blue, but your background noise.
Yes, there was some crackling in your background. We had to mute you.
You need to clean your connectors, not with your fingers, with alcohol and tissue paper.
Isn't this guy like only 16 years old? I don't know if he can get any alcohol in this country.
With pisswasser.
Yeah, pisswasser. No.
Don't piss in your computer. Bad idea.
Oh, that you can't run away from this one. This does not sound like, an idea you have. It sounds like, what do you call it? Experience?
No.
It was said with a certain amount of personal
common missense.
I don't want to talk about it.
I'm still recovering.
So where were we? You just brought me completely out of concept.
Hey,
here.
I did warm you up to it in a certain earlier live stream about getting cows pregnant. So
yes, but you really did phrase that quite weirdly.
No, I phrased it specifically that way. Trust me.
Okay, let's
was on
continue
purpose.
again.
explain this.
Yes, exactly. I saw this as a challenge. So if he wants somebody to explain this to him, he's obviously allowed to join one of my Hangouts. It would be completely fine for him. I invited him various times. He never really accepted.
Which is too bad because in terms of conversation, he seems really reasonable and calm, collected, polite. So
and obviously, for everybody in the audience, you can of course share the link to his or to this Hangout in the comment section of his video, for the simple reason that I can't share it anymore because he blocked me. So feel free to do that. Obviously, only share the part after the URL, so only the -watch and then the long number, because if you share the entire thing, it will probably end up as spam for YouTube algorithm reasons.
And I don't see it. But why are we having a September 26th solstice equinox this year?
We don't.
But we were told that September 22nd week was the equinox, which is just a bold-faced lie.
We were told?
No. It's just not intelligent enough to understand the difference between actual sunlight and the length of the day. By the way, I have a question. I just saw Evil Lanson 9S asking something in the chat.
when you're blocked, Gil.
Yes, well,
yeah,
I'm not able to post comments anymore. As soon as I post them, they disappear. I can see them, but nobody else can see them. When I go into incognito mode, they are not visible.
Okay, it would be nice if it worked just like in live chats, that if you do get blocked or given a timeout or literally get hidden, it's not called blocked. Fuck it. That it would work the same way in YouTube comments as well. So you can see, oh fuck, okay, this guy blocked me. I can't even post anything. That would be the honest thing to do.
Yeah, well,
or at least give a message that yes, the message was saved, but as you are blocked, it will not be shown to others, or something to that effect. But it's YouTube, so they're dicks.
Yes, exactly. So when I comment, I can see my comment as long as I'm logged into my account. As soon as I leave the account, the comment will be gone.
And that's how I can see Sleeping Warriors stupid ass comments in all the live streams that I'm in the live stream in the live chats. Sorry, because he has me blocked for some strange reason. I don't even know how or when I could have pissed him off, or he just did the. No, I haven't talked to him. Not that I remember. He may just be doing this, the Steve Shives thing. Anyone associated with person X gets a block or something. I don't know.
Hashtag blocked by Steve.
Yeah. I haven't been blocked by Steve, by the way.
I have. Probably because I watched Thunderfoot videos.
Yeah. Well, I do too. But then again, I also watched, I can't even remember it now. The puppet guy, Jason. Can't remember the show. He isn't doing them at the moment. Gibson, sorry, yeah. Him and Steve Shives used to make videos. I think they still do every now and then. Maybe because I also comment on his videos, I'm not blocked yet. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, you said the right word there, yet.
Okay, let's play the video until the end.
Yes, I was about to say there's only 1 minute and 14 seconds left, so let's go.
And equinox means equal daylight and nighttime. We don't have that this year, not till the 26th. Can anybody explain this? Or is the sun really a reflection and we're seeing part of its extreme part of its cycle, whatever how many years that is in the cycle that we need to maybe pay attention to? I'm open for all kind of ideas on how this might work here, but the bottom line is it's a lie. The NASA model is just a lie. It doesn't work. Here is an exception to the rule. There should be absolutely no exceptions. We shouldn't just 1 year be 5 days behind in our orbit. No way. Any ideas? And please don't anybody say the Earth's wobbling on its axis. Look that up before you make such an ignorant statement. All right, guys, that's it for this video. God bless.
Guess what? The Earth is wobbling on its axis, but it's going really slowly.
Yes, you're talking about the
1.5 degrees too.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
There's the cycle that the Earth's axis is doing a precession movement every 26,000 years. I just don't remember the name of it.
I want to read some paragraphs or something I found. It's very difficult. It's a very difficult source to find. Let me see here.
Axial precession. So yeah.
Oh, I'll just show you first.
Basically, what happens is that since the Earth is bulged a little bit, the force that the other bodies in the solar system, with which the other bodies of the solar system are pulling on it, is acting a little bit more on the equator, and that leads to the Earth trying to eliminate its axial tilt. But because of the conservation of angular momentum, this doesn't work, and this precession movement is starting.
Yeah.
I thought the moon did that.
Well, I found
probably as
Well,
well.
it's a play between them, right?
the geo. I just found a very interesting source. It's very difficult to find. Let me show you. There we go.
Is it Google?
Oh,
Oh dear.
Ask Jeeves,
God.
or
Almost as bad.
Well, if you read the first 3 paragraphs of this very, very rare, very difficult to find article,
Yes.
it disproves everything in that video. Everything.
Okay, so let's actually read this. An equinox is commonly regarded as the moment when the plane, extended indefinitely in all directions of Earth's equator, passes through the center of the sun, which occurs twice each year, around 20th of March and 22nd to 23rd of September. In other words, it is the moment at which the center of the visible sun is directly above the equator, the same way I defined it in the beginning.
Yeah, it's not equally day. It's defined as when the sun is directly above the equator.
Yeah, and Nestle, I have to say I'm rather disappointed at you. You are very bad at cherry picking. I'm so disappointed.
All right.
That is not how you cherry pick a Wikipedia article. You're supposed to glance over the stuff that doesn't, comply with your notions.
Yes. However, because the moon caused the true motion of the Earth to vary from a perfect ellipse, the equinox is now officially defined by the sun's more regular elliptic longitude rather than declination.
Yeah, it's the wobble caused by the and that is also a factor of why the equinox is not always at the exact same time each year.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the other factor is the leap year, of course.
Yeah, and it's not just always a leap year. There's also leap seconds, also leap minutes, if I remember correctly. There's certainly
I don't think leap minutes. I think the leap seconds are caused by the fact that the Earth's rotational speed actually varies slightly depending on the topography. For example, large earthquakes can change the
length of day.
Well, you know what? I think it's more due to the fact that, yes, the Earth is visually practically a sphere, but gravitationally it isn't. It's more shaped like a lopsided potato.
Yeah, earthquakes
you.
do have an impact too on the Earth.
Well, I think you have to be careful.
Rotation?
I think you have to be careful to describe the Earth as a potato, because then they will say, "Oh, it looks literally like a potato," but it's a very small differences.
Yeah,
Neil deGrasse Tyson effect.
It's very small differences. If you are in space and you look at the Earth, it's pretty much a sphere, for all intents and purposes.
And hey, Scott Manley's video about the shape of the Earth comes to mind, where he takes a photo. I think it was from either the GOES satellite or Himawari. Yeah, where he makes a video sequence where he slices the Earth on one axis, takes them apart, and then rotates them. Can't remember exactly how. I could probably find it, and then puts them back together, and you can see the difference in width.
Yeah, you can see the oblateness, the difference between the height and the length of the width and the length of the Earth. But of course, these differences are very small compared to the size of the Earth, so it will look pretty much like a sphere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a second video of Mr. Thrive and Survive that I would like to go over. It has apparently a completely different topic. Should we do that?
Okay, can you quit screen sharing me?
Yeah, wait a second, please. Just have to start everything here. It is called Gravity Debunked by Globe Believers.
Yeah. Also, can I take another bet? I will bet that this second video you can also disprove by just a Wikipedia article.
Okay. Ready? Oop, fuck. Ready?
Sure.
Never, but okay. Let's go.
Hey everybody, Rich here. Forget the title of this video, although I will cover that subject.
Ah, shit.
What?
Forget the title of this video. Ah, that means he's gonna talk about something completely different.
We got clickbaited.
Yeah.
So he did the John Cleese move. Lovely.
The real reason for this video is I'm going to be going live soon with live streams, and maybe there'll be announcements, maybe they'll just be surprise times. I don't know, but anyway, I'm going to be doing that soon. And what I want to know first of all is, and I'll go back and look at this when I get home. I'll look at the chat results and things like that. I want to know anybody that wants to have a wrench so that they can moderate the chat and keep that under control, things like that. I can add you as a user offline. And of course, I'm going to check your background and things like that. But anyway, I'll need some people to moderate chat rooms when I do those chats. And hello, Ben.
Stop. So, do you think this is gonna become another echo chamber?
Probably.
Or is this one of his fire control videos from current events? Well, not the latest, not the FE core current events, but from a I can't remember now. It's too far gone.
And
I think he did a. Sorry, yeah, just roll it.
Yeah, probably accomplish a lot by going live and things like that. So I'll say that again before I sign off again on this video. Don't want to keep it too long, but I wanted to also have you go back to my previous video, my last video. And by the way, there is a follow-up.
Oh yes, please.
As I've said,
please let it be the last
video I leave things out on purpose. I like to say that I am leaving enough rope for people to hang themselves, and boy, did people hang themselves this time. Go and look at the comments at how many people that believe in the globe, that believe in gravity, all of a sudden, when you have some data that contradicts maybe that the Earth is spinning or contradicts their science, all of a sudden, it's not gravity. You also have to take into account other factors like.
So, which video was
yeah,
that?
You do.
149. So let's see. Maybe Earth spin test surprising results.
Oh, you know what? I just realized, why the fuck does he say their science? Or it's just like saying it's not my reality, or something like that.
Who is reality? Yeah.
Into account other factors like atmospheric pressure, temperature, other things like that can affect how heavy something is.
Well, yeah. And,
what?
Well, yeah, atmospheric pressure. When you measure the force,
Oh yeah.
The buoyancy for
exactly, the buoyancy will change. So yeah, you have to take that into account, but not every experiment needs the correction for the simple reason that you can just measure shit in a vacuum.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, if the data tends to contradict what they're looking for, all of a sudden gravity isn't gravity anymore. It's more density and buoyancy and electromagnetic.
Stop. Yeah, he said
he just
a bunch
up.
of stupid shit here. First of all, buoyancy is impossible without gravity.
Yeah.
How doesn't he not understand this? It's incredible.
Also, he thinks that the atmospheric pressure pushes down on stuff, and that's why it gives them weight. But atmospheric pressure does the opposite. It makes things lighter, not heavier.
Oh, the pain is real, isn't it?
More
I
garbage?
say again.
Yeah, more garbage.
Now, of course, people that believe in the real model and know that gravity is just a fake, you're
Grammar much?
Just a fake.
things like that.
Is he trying to sound like so sick when he does the stupid rants with extremely bad grammar?
Well, I'm not gonna hammer him on his grammar. My grammar is shitty as well.
Yeah, but you
Remember
do it
when
with
I accidentally
German
said that
efficiency, so
it would not be a good idea to talk about Anthony Riley anymore because it would be like
Who?
beating off a dead horse.
you know, I have never understood that term. Who would even do such a thing?
You probably.
No, it has to be alive.
Oh god. Well,
Hey, guess what I used? No, sorry, no, wait, no. Move on.
I don't know, and I don't want to know. Paul.
Hey, isn't your grandfather on a farm? Or used to?
Well, farm more or less, yes.
Or a potato
But he
farm, maybe.
Never
Or,
had any cows. He only had sheep, and I think that's it.
Sheep in Germany? Is that even lucrative?
Yes. Well, in combination, well, the main source of income for him was selling Christmas trees, actually. So in order to like remove all the weeds between the trees, he just had a herd of sheep.
Oh, you mean
Keeping it for
holiday?
free.
You mean holiday trees?
Whatever.
Yeah, they're called fir. Well, no, sorry, pine trees. You know, elephant trees.
No, they're not pines. They are spruce, aren't they, usually.
Spruce.
Yeah,
More
those
garbage.
basic.
2 minute rule.
Makes sense.
Yeah, those kids.
On the fall side, and I believe in gravity to say, no, your data, you can't get accurate data unless you take into account the air pressure currently, your altitude, because that affects air pressure and things like that. Again, my next video is going to have
Is there a cat in the background?
what's
No, I think it's a dog. It's too tall to be a cat.
It's
dog.
Yeah,
It's a dog.
That's a
there's,
dog.
on the right.
Under the basketball basket. Actually, so his next video wasn't about this. I just want to point that out. We just literally 5 minutes ago debunked his last video, or his video after that.
Hey, keep the hope. Keep hoping that it will be his last.
the way to tell how heavy something will be at different altitudes and different longitudes, latitudes, I should say.
What? Stop. Longitudes? What the fuck?
Oh, wait. Well, hey, take it back a couple of seconds. Play it again. He may just. It sounds like he was about to correct himself. To be fair.
Longitudes, latitudes, I should say, is the way to tell how heavy something will be at different altitudes and different longitudes, latitudes, I should say, on the Earth. So, short video coming up.
No, he didn't correct himself. He just said that.
Yeah, no, he corrected himself and then he fucked it up again.
What the fuck?
Jeez. Wait, hey, hang on a minute. Is he saying the same stupid shit as, who was it, Dell, I think? That in order to pressurize something, you have to use it has to be in a closed vessel.
Yes, and they still don't understand why that's false.
Yeah, I mean, how easy would it be to create a DIY pressure gauge that you could take to your local beach with, if it's clear water, or your what do you call it, swimming pool, and then take a GoPro, or just dive with that damn thing and just see how the gauge rises, the pressure rises without a vessel. I mean, without a pressure vessel.
It's much easier. Just take a soda bottle, an empty one, like not one of those thick-walled ones, the thin-walled ones. Open it at sea level. Oh, well, no. Actually, squeeze it a little bit so that it doesn't have its complete volume. Open it at sea level, close it, so that the air pressure inside it is the air pressure of sea level. Then go up a few thousand feet. Oh God, I'm using feet already. Go up a few hundred meters, and then see that the volume of the bottle actually changes because the outside pressure is different from the inside pressure.
Hey, something even more easy. I just remembered a physics experiment that I was taught. Let's see, that was in the 90s, where you take a standard big ballpoint pen. They had these what do you call them, caps. That was
Yes.
before they were open in the tip, but you just use some blue tack to just a little bit to cover it up so it's airtight, and then put a weight on the what would you call that, the pocket clip thing. So, and make sure it balances, and then you put it in a plastic bottle. Make sure there's room for air to pressurize to, and then close it up, and then see that as you compress the bottle, the air inside the bottle, the lid or cap will actually start diving.
Yes,
Or
that's
descending.
literally how a submarine works.
That's some simple stuff. Of course, this is a closed vessel in this case, but you could still do it. Hey, you could still do the same trick, but in a swimming pool. And at the near the surface, you could pull it down with your fingers. Every single time you release it, it'll go up to the surface again. But if you dive down far enough and you release it, it will fall to the bottom of it.
Yes,
I
exactly,
wonder
because
why
the
that
little-
is.
Well, because the little air bubble inside it will be compressed enough by the pressure of the
Yeah.
water surrounding it to actually
Yeah.
change the density to such a degree that it's over the density of the water and therefore making the thing sink.
Yep, which is why you have there's a difference between when we talk about boats, there's a difference between the weight of a boat and the water displacement of a boat. Yeah, it's part of it anyway.
Yeah. More garbage. 2-minute rule.
Yeah, let's actually do those 2 minutes this time.
Already got it done. It was left out on purpose in the first video. Some people, and I'll probably mention them in the video because I'm going to add to it, accurately said that, I'm sorry, I can't remember your name right now, the cosine of the latitude is one factor, and then your altitude above the earth. Got a bunch of crazy stuff about the density of the local rocks in your area could have.
Stop. I have to stop this already. I'm very sorry. I think what he's trying to say is that when you actually take when you actually want to calculate the Erdős effect, which
What
is
was that again? The
Erdős effect. IÖ-V-ÖS effect. That's a consequence of the centrifugal force of the planet.
not to tease you, but do you have that in the English alphabet
Oh God!
without the umlaut?
IOE.
The Erdős effect. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
fuck,
just trying
I just-
to. What? I'm just drawing.
There we
it
go.
to
I just wrote it into the open side chat, so you can copy and paste it.
Okay.
Because that one is actually a consequence of the rotation of the planet. And since people at different latitudes will be at different distances from the Earth's axis, the centrifugal force that they will feel is actually different. And that needs to be calculated for if you're trying to measure the Erdős effect, or depending on your latitude.
Ooh, okay, I get it. And if I remember correctly, the reduction in your weight from measured on the a weight, a 100 kilo weight being weighed at the equator, and what do you call it, a certified weight.
Yes.
It measures exactly 100 kilos. If you measure it with the exact same equipment and blah 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 on the south or the north pole, it will measure negative 0.2 kilos in difference. I think it is.
Can
Or is it
anyone
0.8?
still hear me?
We can hear
Yep.
you.
I have trouble with my microphone for some reason.
Okay. So I think I was talking to Betty about this.
Yippee!
And
When are
to-
we going to talk to her again, by the way?
Brandon Toy again, I think. That we were talking about the Erdős effect actually describes your motion when you're moving over the surface of the planet on the equator. Obviously, to the rotational speed of the planet, you will either add or subtract your own speed. And this will have a consequence because it will be actually changing the centrifugal force. So by only measuring your weight on the equator, while moving east or west, you can directly determine the rotational speed of the planet.
What now?
Yeah,
Huh. Nice.
yeah, that's really nice.
Oh, I wonder if there's the world's fastest operational trains. I think it's in Japan. They go up to about almost 500 kilometers an hour. I wonder.
Speed trains.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if that train at some point on its route or track, if it's going perpendicular to the equator.
Well, the effect is greater on the equator. So
Yes, obviously the effect must be
Yeah,
greater.
but is it great? But is it greater on the equator than it is on that let's say just be on the safe side, a 400 kilometer per hour train, moving just to increase the centrifugal effect of the
there
Earth?
will be a tiny difference, but I think in Japan it's not very great. I think I would guess.
Well, how far away is Japan from the equator?
It's I think at approximately the same latitude as Central Europe, so 50 degrees or so north. Now it's 60 degrees north. You're still at 50% of the radius, right? Because the cosine of 60 degrees is 0.5, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So the effect would be. Do you guys think we could derive the entire equation for this? I think I could, but it would take half an hour or something.
Well, I'm gonna head out now, so see you guys later.
Yeah, I see you. By the way, it sounds like you're speaking through a towel or something.
I think you have a diagram of the Utfus effect.
Yes, there's one in the Wikipedia, but this one only deals with something that's on the equator. For every other for every other latitude, you would obviously have a different equation because the centrifugal force is different.
Well, won't you have another diagram that only varies in longitude over latitude? I don't know.
You could derive it, yeah, so that's no problem. But what I would want to see, and I guess that probably already exists because it is really hard to do, is a equation that describes everything. Your motion east to west, your motion north to south, and your position on the planet. And obviously the rotational speed of the planet and the radius of the planet. And I think that's quite easy to derive. It just takes some time because there's a lot of shit in there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's continue.
Affect gravity. Okay. That just about negates any observation you could ever do because you can never know the exact density of the rocks near you, under your feet, 10 miles under the earth. Oh, I love the one comment where the person talks about the crust of the earth and what's under it, and we know blah, 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 and yet we have one.
Stop. Where's the geologist when I need it? I'm going to invite Purple Dan, if it's available.
Yeah, he's only about, 4 or 5 hours? 3 or 4 hours in front of us.
No, Purple Dan is in South Africa. He's in the same, that they are in. He's actually right now in the same time zone because he's 1 hour ahead, but they're in winter time while we're in daylight savings time.
Oh.
So he should be the same time for him right now.
There's some moron moron / Poe or bad Poe I haven't seen in a while.
Which one? Gary Wibenga or Multitomtom?
Gary Wibenga. But then again, that's probably because I banned him from the Non Sequitur Show channel.
Why?
That's probably why I haven't seen him in a while.
No, I mean, why did you ban him?
Yeah, or was it Bullinator? Well, because some of us got tired of him. I may remember things wrong. I usually do, but yeah.
Okay, let's continue.
Yeah.
Place on the earth where they've been able to dig 7 or 8 miles. That's it. They can't get any deeper. And what was the conclusion from only being able to go 7 or 8 miles? the conclusion was, oh, we scientists were wrong. We totally misjudged the crust of the Earth. So, I got to do a video where I put together all the different things that science has been wrong on and science has contradicted its own self on.
There's something I need to correct in the side chat. At Quickie, two things. First of all, there is actually currently a maglev Shinkansen in development, and I think that thing can drive up to 580 kilometers per hour. And second of all, the French TGV can actually drive, if it wants to, 570.
Yeah, and the cruise speed is about 420 or 430.
I don't know, but there's this awesome record video of the TGV going 475 or so kilometers per hour, which is absolutely insane because that's like 8 kilometers per minute.
Yeah, but that maglev train you're talking about, that's from Germany?
No. The Japanese are developing one. There is
a new one?
Yes, there's one commercial maglev that's currently in operation that was developed in Germany, and that connects the Shanghai airport to the center of the city.
I mean, I don't. If you're in China, labor is really cheap. I imagine the same for Japan, but Germany is not that. Doesn't work like that. But still, I would imagine that Germany would be far ahead in the train business in any case.
No, it doesn't make any sense. Actually, we're quite behind when we take a look at the French, for example. The TGV is much better than our ICE.
But then again, TGV, is that a French company or is it one of the
Alstom,
Italian companies?
I think that's Alstom. So I have no idea what Alstom actually is.
I mean, I remember that. I know that the Italian company
that's French. Alstom is French.
Okay, the Italian train building company, or whatever you call it, that made that has been making the Danish commuter trains for years, and also our subway system in Copenhagen.
Yep.
Very badly. They've made. They are high up in the on the ladder of train making. As long as you pay them profusely, instead of paying them what you actually should, and making it bad, having some bad lawyers creating bad contracts, which means that you eventually, just by magic, end up, getting contacted. The Danish, it's just a weird segue. The Danish government, a number of years ago, were contacted by a journalist from some country, I think it was, that had just seen or noticed that there was a train in Syria, I think it was, or Qatar, somewhere around that area, a train that should have been driving in Denmark, that has been paid for by Danish taxes, had been given to Mubarak, I think it was, as a gift. It had all the interior design, the Danish design, custom design, and all that stuff. Italians.
Well, so there's been a little bit of dispute in the side chat about why Germany doesn't have the good trains. So the reason is simple. First of all, we do. I mean, our ICEs are fine. But the main problem that we appear to have is that the tracks are just shit. In most urban areas, the ICEs have to share the tracks with the commuter trains. So they just simply can't drive the speed that they're made for, which is not a problem in France, because they most of the time have their own set of tracks.
That's a stark contrast to the dwindling free speeds of the Autobahn.
Well, yeah, most of the time, hopefully. Sometimes not. It can be.
So what's the standard cruise speed then for those trains? In Denmark, it's 180
kilometers per hour.
Mm-hmm.
So
150 with a usual maximum speed of 180 to make up for lost time.
Okay, so on the best tracks that we have, they reach up to 330, but most tracks are just made for like 200, and that's the better ones. By the way, hi Res Rhetoric, how are you?
Okay, I just woke up and I see a picture of some douchebag that was said that he would debate anyone, and then when I challenged to debate him, ran away like a scared little bitch. Please give me one good reason why I shouldn't click off this Hangout right the fuck now.
Because we have fun debunking him sometimes.
You just woke up, so it means it's about 11 a.m. on where you are at.
Closer to 12, good sir. Get your shit together, okay?
He's not that kind of prima donna.
Okay, right. So you already missed the best part, in which we showed that Mr. Thrive and Survive doesn't know how equinoxes work.
And you're surprised by this? Why? Why are you surprised?
I didn't say I was
by this?
surprised, did I?
It's this is shit that is like, okay, you have to be a flat earther to do a few things in life, and that is be wrong at pretty much everything. Okay, personally, I'm surprised this dude can even dress himself. He didn't do a good job, as you can tell by his shirt, but he's at least getting at least that far. But everything else, dude, that it's like trying to get a kindergartner to do, you know, advanced calculus and not fuck it up.
At least he shaved his chest pubes.
But Reds, do we even know that he dresses himself in the morning?
You make a very good point, sir. You make a very good point.
Oh, God.
I have to take a shit now. I'll be right back.
Go ahead.
Too bad you can't do it on him. Yeah.
Let's continue.
Oh, wait, he actually had the courtesy of muting himself by going to the shitter?
Yep, he did.
Ah, that's an improvement, isn't it? Or did it just happen that one time?
Let's continue.
Anyway, again, let me repeat again, and I can't let these videos go long when I'm live here without internet, because YouTube will not upload the video if it gets maybe 8 to 10 minutes long. So I got to end this soon. Again,
What? I mean, is it possible that he's saying that his data connection doesn't have enough gigabytes of data per month that he can use at high speed, and that uploading the video would take forever if he crossed that data?
Okay.
Amount?
I'm sorry for ruining my own comment here, but assuming he's not lying, yeah, he says that YouTube doesn't allow him to upload videos at what did he say? Longer than 8-10 minutes?
Yeah, well, I'm calling bullshit on that.
Yeah, I mean, if it was because of some community guideline thing, it would be 15 minutes, right?
Was this live streamed by any chance? Because if it was, then he's full of shit. Because
yes, this is live streamed. I was about to say my live streams are regularly over 5 to 6 hours.
But no. Thrive and Survive's live stream. It was a live stream, yeah.
Yes, it was a live stream.
Okay, then he's full of shit. So basically, what he's trying to say is that there is a government / YouTube Ian conspiracy trying to get people to not watch his bullshit so that they don't know the truth of the flat Earth.
Well, duh. I mean,
of course, it can only be that. It couldn't possibly be the fact that he forgot to pay his fucking Verizon bill.
Maybe he's just mixing up the fact that the rendering of the upload and rendering of the live stream just can take forever sometimes.
Hey, maybe he's using a weird version of Windows 2000.
Remember,
don't say anything bad about Windows 2000. It's still one of the better Windowses when you actually take a look at everyone.
But hey,
just remember that flat earthers demand absolute perfection. I mean, after all, they want us to stick a camera on the moon recording the Earth at 4K 60 frames per second for no fucking reason whatsoever. ever. So if it's not perfect, then it's part of the conspiracy.
If you don't,
you're forgetting something, Red. If it's too good, then it's also part of the conspiracy.
Everything's part of the conspiracy. You're part of the conspiracy. I'm part of the conspiracy. Where's my goddamn show money?
Hey, Red, you could be making some serious paper. I mean, some of your YouTube videos literally have millions of views.
Or maybe he already is. Dun dun dun.
Guys, if you don't,
I found the box with my money in it. It's not getting to me anytime soon.
If you don't mind, just a small segue. We talked about internet connection. Is America still a piece of shit in terms of data caps and prices for data caps, or is it actually getting better?
I bet your paycheck that Germany is actually worse.
Well, I mean, I literally have a no limit. I literally have no limit on my data connection, and by now it's 150 down and 35 up continuously.
Bo, here's how bad the situation in Germany is. Okay, the biggest ISP is called Deutsche Telekom, and 1 or 2
government
years
owned.
ago, no, not anymore. 1 or 2
Hey,
years
Gio.
ago. Hey,
Hey, Gio, one thing real quick.
Sure.
1 week. 1 week, Red. 1 week.
I was literally woken up. You shut your whore mouth.
I'm back to work, guys. See you later.
Okay, so again, the situation is so shitty that the biggest ISP in Germany, which is called Deutsche Telekom, I think 2 years, 2 or 3 years ago, I don't remember actually, announced that for DSL connections, it would in the future do data caps, which I think were 500 gigabytes.
Hey, quick question. Gio, do you still have net neutrality in your country?
More or less, yes.
Then shut the fuck up. All right, guys, I'm out of here.
Bye, Red.
Peace, man.
Now, the situation is actually way worse when it comes to mobile data. The data plan I have, which is by Vodafone, gives me 300 megabytes of UMTS speed per month, and then it limits me down to GPRS speed, which is 65K.
Wow, did you say UMTS?
Yes.
My, oh my.
Well, I think
that's blazing.
I think it's Edge, not UMTS, but speed is comparable, like 15 megabytes.
Well, actually, no. UMTS is slightly faster.
No,
than
I think
Edge.
it's
not the same
5.7
necessarily.
or 5.8.
Well, yeah, it depends on the local infrastructure. Yeah, but
obviously.
But hey, I remember about 10 years ago, where my only internet connection was mobile broadband by 3. That I paid 400 kroners per month with a data cap of 1,024 gigabytes.
How much is that in real money?
Yeah, I'm doing the calculations. And I also had I could also watch TV over that connection, and the data used on that did not factor in.
Yes, they tend to do that now, which I think is a shame.
Yeah, let's see. In bitch money, 400 kroners is $62 US dollars.
US dollars. Well, but what about real money?
Yeah, I know.
So just to compare this to my data plan that I have for my apartment, I'm currently having a 500 megabits per second download and 50 megabits per second upload connection.
Oh,
costs me 35 euros per month, and that one is still unlimited, luckily.
Oh, that's almost illegal. I mean, damn. That's ridiculously high for that shitty connection. Well, hey, what's the
500
uptime
megabits
and what's
a record here? So that's the fastest connection I can get. Yes, 500 megabits
I thought
per
you
second.
said 50.
No,
50, okay.
500 down, 50 up. The connection is asymmetrical.
Yeah.
Which is
by the way,
I mean, because when I download a 100 gigabyte Steam game, I don't give a fuck about the upload speed, right? The only time the upload speed really matters is when streaming.
Yeah. Are games really that big these days?
Yes, they are. GTA is about 75 or 80 gigabytes large, and Red Dead Redemption 2 was announced to be 105.
Okay, pardon me for swearing, but maybe that's why Sony did all they could to convince people to not use Blu-ray discs for games anymore and use the internet instead.
They could, I think, at this point, at least here. But just to compare this, just 5 or 6 kilometers outside of the city where my parents live, the quickest connection is 16 megabits per second. Download. Upload 1.5 megabits per second for the same fucking price.
Just for a comparison, what's the population of the inner city?
The city where I live in,
there.
Well, it's actually a conglomerate, like it's 2 cities in one, right? It's bureaucratically it's 2 cities, but they are grown together like Siamese twins. You can actually say when you're in which of the 2 cities. I think about like 700,000 inhabitants approximately.
Okay, 700. Okay, yeah, it should be a lot better than the infrastructure. But don't you get coax? I mean, cable-based internet connections too, and fiber. And
no, not yet.
Why is it so ridiculously expensive?
Because our politicians are shit and don't know how the internet works. They don't understand that it was a bad mistake about a decade ago to further invest in copper cables instead of going for glass fiber.
Oh, and by the way, 53, 56 oil, 400 kroners
Okay.
in real money. Well, I still don't like the. Okay, I like the design of the coins and the notes, but I don't like the currency.
Why?
And again, because then there is a long running dispute between. Oh shit! Can't remember if it's between Denmark and Norway, or Denmark and Sweden, or Denmark, Norway, and Sweden, in relation to having the world's oldest continuous official currency in the world.
Okay.
Around 800 years, I think it is. I'm not sure about the facts, but
Just want to address something in side chat at Dangerman5. Which cycling team isn't doped? Name one. Okay, let's continue. We actually have derailed enough for this.
Have a wrench so that you can moderate live hangouts, because I want to do more live.
Translation: kick everybody that doesn't agree with me.
yeah. And by the way, that was almost a snobby female AT&T operator kind of voice with just fuck off.
Anyway, now
Have a break.
would be more, wouldn't it? But I wanted to start doing live hangouts, getting some guests on. If you have any idea of people that may want to be guests, you can contact
me.
Me. Of course, that won't happen. But anyway, me.
Hey, using a sock account would be considered cheating, maybe, but no one says anything. No, I have never heard anyone complain about borrowing another person's account. Would you like to borrow mine? I'm not blocked yet. Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could, but I don't think that would make a difference. As soon as they notice it's me, they will kick me. On the other hand, they will probably mix about dialects anyway.
Yeah, well, hey, we could do the Soundly / geo conspiracy thing and make it real.
Let's continue.
people.life/rich. I finally have an email set up to where I can respond to that, and I got to fix that contact form, so it goes to the email. It's a one-step process. But I have been seeing contact form sent to me. Thank you for the people that have contacted me.
I think I've actually sent him an email a few weeks ago, because after YouTube kicked out the functionality of being able to send messages directly, I was still curious about whether this guy wanted to join one of my Hangouts, so I sent him an email, and I don't think I got an answer yet, but I'm not sure about this. Maybe. Oh, whatever. I'm gonna check it later.
You just faded off. Somebody just asked for a wrench. I'm going to go back and watch this. I can watch the replay of all the comments. Look it up, make sure it's not a troll or shill account, and I'll give you a wrench when that happens. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't allow us to communicate directly with one another anymore.
Yeah, I was about to say I actually agree with him. Oh, I never thought I would say this, but it's a little bit of a shame.
Oh, you go wash your mouth with soap right now.
Soap is not strong enough. I'm thinking about muriatic acid.
Yeah, or sulfuric acid. At least 70%.
Well, that stuff. Have you seen highly concentrated sulfuric acid? This stuff is like honey. Well, not that bad, but it's definitely
thick.
It gets pretty thick, yeah.
Huh. I've only experienced 10% citric acid in high school, but the Danish version of high school.
No, the thing about highly concentrated sulfuric acid is that it's getting really, first of all, really thick. Second of all, it has such a high boiling point, like 250 degrees or so. And third of all, it's highly oxidizing. So you really don't want to get in contact with that.
And because it's thick, it has a very high viscosity, it also means that it's really difficult to get off your skin.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
It
as
takes
in
some time to wash
extremely
it off.
tacky.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
And that's
Too
the
bad
story
it
I
isn't.
There's a story I
too
could
bad-
tell.
Sorry.
There's a story I could tell to something that happened to a colleague of mine literally in the first semester. But I don't think I can tell that on YouTube.
Elephant Man.
No, not that bad, but let's just say he nearly had to get a skin transplant because he had an accident with hot and almost boiling sulfuric acid.
And it's just too bad that sulfuric acid doesn't react. Doesn't have an exothermic reaction with water. That would have been fun.
Well,
trying to get it off.
Actually, the fact that whenever you dilute highly concentrated acid, actually the temperature heats up. But
would you like to rephrase that, sir? The temperature heats up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the temperature increases. Yeah, that was a brain fart. Yeah.
Thrive and Survive is starting to rub off on you.
Okay, let's continue before I rabbit holes.
You see this live video feed right here, where you won't be in the live chat, and you want to have a wrench, contact me, Rich, peopleforpeople.life/Rich, and you'll be able to, again, give me your YouTube screen name. I think that's in the contact form anyway, so that I can add you. So I want to have a shield-free experience, so to speak. Now, I don't mind if people are on the other side. I might as well just say this right now. As long as people aren't being belligerent or calling names or whatever, it's okay if they have an opposing viewpoint. I don't care about that. It's the ad hominem.
Stop. Irony alert. Do you guys remember last time when we were talking about him?
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, last time when we were talking about him, he pretty much said the same thing. As long as you don't start name calling, I'm just not gonna ignore you and deal with you. But in the next 1 or 2 sentences, he started name calling.
Yeah, because mean bad words are bad mean words.
Exactly.
Or something. Okay, it's okay if I do it, but if you do it to me, you're an asshole. Pretty much.
Richard Nixon, 1974.
Also want to invite Crow XE once again to go live. He's done some work on the Analema. I'm interested in seeing what he has come up with that. We've been talking about a few other things, maybe measuring stars. See, one of the things that I think is wrong is people assume on the other side that the reason why, let's say, Polaris is lower in the sky at 20 degrees further south latitude is because of the Earth. What if you're in a totally flat place? What if you're in the flats in South America and you pick up?
Woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Yeah, again, you expect different functions for the elevation angle of the pole stars or, well, the celestial poles themselves, depending on whether you're on a flat Earth or not.
Up a star, and you look at it at the northern part of that, but then you go 100 miles south, but it's still perfectly level to the northern part. Is that star lower in the sky? Well, of course it's going to be lower in the sky, but that's not what people want to admit. So all we have to do is capture that.
Yes, but it would be lower differently depending on the sphericity or flatness of the planet. That's what he doesn't understand.
I also am probably going to start saving money for a Canon B700 camera. My last hangout on Sun and Moon Group, somebody who's very familiar with cameras stated for good reasons why that's the best out of the P900, P1000. Yes, it doesn't have quite the optical zoom, but there's a few other things that are much better. 700.
Did he say Canon B as in Bravo and not D?
I think he said D700, I think he said.
I hope so.
My D700. We have, in the family, we're all Canon users. I have a EOS D1000, which is the smallest one that was offered at that point. And we have a D400 and a D550. Well,
yeah,
obviously they're
amateur cameras, but decent cameras. Yeah.
Yeah, they're fine for most purposes, obviously.
Oh, yeah. You know, something that bothers me a lot right now he said obviously okay, can't remember verbatim, but it obviously doesn't have the same zoom as the P900. I think he said.
Yeah,
dude,
he said he doesn't have the same optical zoom.
Yeah, the camera doesn't have optics. It's just a camera body. You put optics on there, or lenses, so to speak, on there. You can buy practically any, even Nikon or Nikkor or Fuji lenses with adapters, and put it on your camera. You can buy, what's the biggest lens you can buy? 2400 millimeters.
I was about to ask, what's the biggest zoom lens that you, in terms of optical zoom, that you can fit on a Canon EOS D700?
Well, if you have to go Canon, original, let's see, I think it's 2400 millimeters.
How expensive is that?
You don't want to know.
A few thousand?
It probably costs around the cheapest model of Tesla, I would imagine. I don't know. But anyway, in any case, you can put I think the biggest extender is ×4. In other words, 2400 millimeters ×4.
Oh, shit.
And I don't know the resolution of this camera, but imagine you have a camera that can record 4K video. Most of the cameras today can do that. And you use the higher resolution in order to get it is theoretically a digital zoom, but you're just zooming into, but still retaining a 1080p resolution.
Yes, you're just taking the middle 1080p of the picture, right?
Yeah, and 4K, 4K is more or less 4 times 1080p resolution
exactly is.
In terms of pixel.
It is exactly, so that's by definition.
So you're actually multiplying the theoretical lens, magnification by 4 again.
No, by 2.
By 2 only?
Yeah, because it's half the height and half the width, so by 2.
Oh, and Alan is in the house. He's the nerd in that regard. Hey, Alan.
Oh, yes, and by the way, Helso is right. You can obviously also rent a lens if you need it for one specific purpose for a day or 2.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Helso, do you want to join? I think I actually sent you the invite link.
Yeah, we have more room for Swedes.
Oh, God. That's why he doesn't want to join.
Yeah, okay. You're a Norwegian, a proud Norwegian. Hey, my sister went to can't remember the city. Yes. A city 800 kilometers north of Copenhagen. That's far as hell.
So here's the thing about Helso being Norwegian. He's not completely Norwegian until he drives an electric car.
What?
Yeah, they are the record holder in terms of electric cars per person. They have like 40% or so market share of electric vehicles.
And that's in a country. And that's in a country where you really seriously have to use heaters for the batteries in that case. And you would need a timer for that heater.
Well, that's not hard to do. Most cars can actually do this via a smartphone app.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So come on, Elsa, get your ass in here.
Yeah. Get your ass in here, man.
Oh, God. And by the way, more garbage.
So I'm going to start saving up money for that. My last camera that I had, I made the mistake of giving it to somebody who I thought was trusted. Met them on YouTube, and they came and they said they had a need for a camera. I gave it to them, and then they disappeared. So
he got scammed out of a camera, and now it's our fault.
Yeah, of course. Because reasons, as usual.
Anyway, that's what you get for being a nice guy, I guess. Maybe a stupid guy. But anyway.
That's better.
Maybe.
Yeah, think.
I will try to get that camera because I am going to go to, God willing, I'm going to go to Europe.
Oh, no.
To the UK.
Phew.
Wales.
Wait, stop. Did he just say UK and Wales?
Yeah. Well, yeah, he did say UK and Wales.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. That's like saying that he's going to Los Angeles and to California. But okay, well.
Well, hey,
We know he's
Commonwealth,
not good at
England,
geography.
United Kingdom, Great Britain. It's a big mix. So, I mean, I constantly get that stuff mixed up. Is Edinburgh a part of England? Fuck no. Is it
No, it's not.
a part of Great Britain? Well, yes, it is. They don't like it, but yeah.
Well, it's not that hard. Great Britain is the island. The United Kingdom is the country, and the country, and the England, Scotland are like the states of it, I guess. Is that close enough?
Yeah, I'm not sure how the political stuff works.
He just said, "I live in New York, but I'm going to New York later."
Hey, yeah, I mean, I live in New York, New York. Okay, why did you just repeat yourself? That's a weird thing. Oh, yeah. Gott im Himmel.
Germany for sure.
Get fucked.
Eat it.
Oh, God.
Eat it.
Actually,
Get wrecked.
if this guy
in the
doesn't
butt.
talk somewhere anywhere, I'll be there.
Oh, you'll
open.
totally be going there.
I'll be there. Even if it's on the other side of the country, even if it's in fucking Flensburg, I'll be there. Let's continue.
Hey, if it's close enough to the border, Danish border.
Well, that
I
would be
would try and
Flensburg.
get the money
Flensburg is
together.
literally directly on the Danish border, like only a few
Yeah.
kilometers off of it. Or as we used to call it, the front, but whatever.
Yeah.
That's another
Front?
story.
And maybe as far north as Ireland, Scotland. Not sure about that yet. Maybe 2 weeks, but be a good time to do more experiments, not only with weight and things like that, but especially going all that distance across the Atlantic. I should be able to take readings, which I've already done, going from Phoenix to Baltimore. I just haven't plotted them yet. I've done. If anybody knows good software to where you can plot your latitude, longitude on a map easily, let me know, because
Google Earth.
Or Bing Maps. Sorry for swearing.
Yeah.
Or Apple Maps.
Or fuck. There used to be a flight simulator made by Microsoft that had the ability to also do this.
Oh, Microsoft Flight Simulator is probably somehow. I mean, it's still they still have that. I don't want to call it a game, but that's pro software in development and updating it. I can't imagine that they haven't injected some of their Bing maps into it. I mean, that would be an obvious. That would be a no-brainer.
Thing to do, right? I mean, you can buy the license from Google to use Google Earth footage, like the map data and the satellite photography, or whatever, however this is done. And I wouldn't be surprised if there at some point were a flight simulator that directly plugged into this, right? That would live download Google Earth footage to draw the textures over whatever surface you're currently flying over.
And even more cool, and also importing live ATIS and AIS. Oh, that's for ships. Sorry, ATIS and flight data from FlightAware or Flight Radar 24 for different airports.
Oh,
and
that
you
would
have
be
to,
nice.
to get in line with actual planes with a delay, of course. Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Any software programmers on the side chat, go ahead. I would.
It would have to be.
Go ahead. I promise you, if you develop this, I will pirate it.
Yeah, and it would have to be a light on processing power, because you would need to be able to run it on your gaming laptop and take it to the airport. Well, to a place where a lookout where you can actually watch the whole landing. Sorry, yeah, I want to call it a flight line, but that's the word you use in the military on the air side of the airport, so you can see the planes.
Then
use augmented reality.
Yes, I was about to say
Yes.
Then you have to integrate augmented reality to actually see your plane landing.
Yeah. Hey, Halsoy. You have some of that shit. Don't you have coding skills too? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more. Hey.
I've got maybe 100 or so locations that I snapped off in my last trip just to see if we were taking a great circle route or not. So anyway, I'm going to end this video here because it looks like
Thank you.
6 minutes long, close to that. Again,
That's 9 minutes.
we start getting into danger territory about these things being uploaded by YouTube. So if you want a wrench, let me
He
know
did it again.
after
He
this.
blamed YouTube, not his internet connection.
Be able to see your comments on the lower left-hand corner on the replay. Contact me at peopleforpeople.life/Rich and give me your YouTube screen name. And if everything checks out, I'll give you a wrench, and we'll go from there. God bless each and every one of you. And again,
Which one?
people who believe in gravity, if there's data that goes against you, all of a sudden it's not gravity that affects the weight of something. It's gravity plus atmospherics or magnetics or whatever. It's just
No. Stop.
At least he
Magnetics,
didn't say
no.
electromagnetics.
He just said magnetics, I think. He
Oh,
said
wrong
electromagnetics earlier, but not this time, I think.
Oh, yeah, okay. Right.
the distance is just off the charts. But that's okay, I guess, if you want to remain self-deluded. God bless, guys. Bye. How do I end this thing?
Well, you take a knife, make sure it's as dull as humanly possible. Then you insert it in your into your scrotum, and you just jam that sucker up there. Making sure that you can't have kids ever, hoping that you don't have any already. Okay, it's okay to get sedated first.
That's a disturbing thought.
Yeah. Really?
Well,
Pull the
on.
lever, Kronk.
I'll get close. Maybe that'll do it. Goodbye, guys.
Have you ever heard of something called practice?
No,
wait.
that's fine. Don't criticize him on this. I mean, my Hangouts aren't done any more professional than what he's doing.
Hasn't he been on Hangouts before? Well, okay, maybe not from his cell phone. So, I know this is from a long time ago, but could you just present me? I'll just show something and play it in 0.75% of. Sorry, 75% of the actual speed.
Oh, you're using OS X. Fuck you.
No, this is the video from Scott Manley.
Ah, okay.
Check this stuff out.
That's fine.
It's going to be beautiful. Okay, maybe I'll. No, here we go. Here we go. Yeah. And I don't want to turn up the audio because, well, I probably can't, but because risks of copyright stuff. But I think he talks about counting pixels and things like that. Whoops. Okay, this is the cool part. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, look at that! That is what a pear-shaped Earth looks like. Oh no, wait, no. There's another word for it. Oh yeah, oblate spheroid. Ain't that just cute? Yeah. That's how that shit works. Okay, I just wanted to show it.
Okay, so we're now 2 hours in. I'm actually thinking about ending this stream right now. Except for if anybody of you guys has any idea what to debunk next.
More stupid. Obviously. Okay,
So,
you know what? I'm so used to Google Meet. No, that's not a euphemism. How do you stop screen sharing?
by
It looks totally
on
different
the top left, there's this button. It's a monitor with a white arrow on it.
Yeah,
click
yeah.
that one.
There's no end screen share thing. Oh, wait a minute.
You click the screen share button and then you click the screen share button again to stop it.
Oh, I just did.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
not
by the way,
screen sharing
I'm on
anymore.
Mac. Oh, okay, cool. Just looks like it. Ah, there you go.
Bring multi-tum-tum in to talk about
Multi-dum-dum. James, what?
Actually, I'll be AFK for 2 minutes.
Okay, and while you do that, I'll just share the link to this video because it's cool, it's simple stuff. There you go, kids. Do your worst to debunk, quote, debunk, unquote, this, retards. Of course, I'm not talking to the usual guys. The awkward moments of dead air. And I used to be, okay, for a small radio station, but still. I was a radio technician, a studio technician for a small radio station in Copenhagen. The worst possible thing you could do is broadcast dead air. Yeah, it's eerie. I guess GeoStrava will, wake up at some point again. Okay, maybe I'll just do some more screen sharing.
I am back.
Oh shit! Man, I was so close to bad mouthing you, but now you're back.
Yeah,
nope.
You realize I have a wireless headset. I could hear everything you said, right?
Nope.
You were talking about how it's the worst thing to do is to broadcast that air, and that you were working in a small radio station in Copenhagen.
Yeah, and even worse, it was a Christian radio.
Oh God, no!
Salvation Army radio. When I was a thanks, Jen.
Okay, so to the side chat,
in my late teens.
To the side chat, you guys need to do me a favor, and I don't know how much time I will have in the next few weeks to actually watch MrThriveAndSurvive stuff. If anybody of you notices that when he's saying when he's going to Germany and what he's going to do, I would like to hear this. And I'm not just talking about anything, but if he plans to do a public Flat Earth meeting or something, I would like to be there.
Yeah, tweet the fuck out of it or anything. Come on. So yeah, the very second you hopefully find out where, at least tweet me at ballhulbo on the tweeter thing. I would be most grateful, especially if it's somewhere in the North Germany area where I could actually, collect the funds to go there.
I think we need to draw a line, like literally.
Oh yeah, split it up, divide and conquer thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's call this the Geo-Bohobo Pact.
Oh, and by the way, I don't have my passport is no longer valid, but I do have my military ID, and that is still valid.
So let's see.
I have traveled on that, so it works.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's probably not officially usable that way, but
let's do it this way.
Then again, my colleagues are assisting the police, so I just need to find a border crossing that is being manned by military personnel, and I'll be fine.
So do you think that is fair?
Oh, I mean, not even watching. Hang on. Where's Am Main down there?
Where's what?
Yeah, that's Am Main, Frankfurt am Main. I'm just trying to remember how long it took me to with the company when we drove to Messe Frankfurt.
Yes.
It took a long time just because one of the guys higher up in the hierarchy was afraid of flying. Dumb shit.
Right, even then it wouldn't take that long. I mean, from Copenhagen to the German border, it's 2 hours approximately. And then it's maybe 45 minutes to Hamburg, 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe 4 hours to Frankfurt.
Yeah, except we were driving a minibus that only
Yeah, so
could only
what-
do
what
about
was it?
100 kilometers an hour or something.
Wait, stop. What was it lighter than 3.5 tons?
Yeah, it's below. Yeah, it's below 3.5
Yeah, then
tons.
screw it. Like literally screw the pedal to the floor and go.
Yeah, but again, it could only drive about 100 kilometers an hour.
Oh, Feno,
It was an old wreck.
I have to correct you. I once drove from my area, from Nuremberg to Hamburg and back in one day, and I took less than 11 hours. Don't ask why I did that.
Yeah, I mean, I did once. I did, go on a what would you call it? Launch tour with Citroën. Started in Copenhagen, going to Sweden. No, Bornholm, I think it was. Yeah, Bornholm, and then Sweden, then Norway, all the way up to further up than Oslo. What's it called, that place? The place where they held the Winter Olympics many years ago. Can't remember. Oh man, no thanks. I can't remember the city. God damn it.
Where's the Swede when you need him? Helsoy, get your ass in here.
Yeah, darn it. Damn it. But no, that took. Okay, I had a couple of stops, of course, because we were presenting both the new Citroën Lillehammer. Yeah, Lillehammer.
Yes, I
we
quickly
were
just
presenting
posted
the
it.
new. Yeah, we were presenting the new company logo and the the new models to Citroën sales shops. You would call them, I guess.
Yeah.
Their own sales personnel. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, the best thing is that the big honcho in Norway went to Lillehammer, which was the last place we visited, and I was working frantically to get things done. I was alone in setting up all the equipment. When I was done, all I had to do is show the poor guy who was supposed to work the equipment. That button does this. This button, don't even touch it. This button does that, and so on. And then I could, just go away and just be, on a standby. I walked outside in, negative 17 degrees Celsius, where the air was very dry, of course. I was standing in shorts and a wet T-shirt. People were looking at me strangely, in a strange way. I was literally just steaming. I felt great.
That's nice.
People were starting to film me when I found out, wait a minute, that's the vice president. Oh, better hide. I was wearing Citroën apparel too, so nah.
Oh,
I figured, I better hide to be less conspicuous.
Oh, and multi-tom in the side chat. So many Odin worshippers in here. Odin promised to get rid of all the ice giants. Do you see any ice giants?
Canadian ice hockey players, maybe.
Maybe. Where the fuck's Hammelburg?
Oh, multi-tom. Are you feeling sleepy?
Oh, yes, of course. Right. A7. Yeah, 2.5 hours. That's about correct.
Oh, yeah. Come on, Halsai. Are you going to get in here? I mean, you can't blame, being tired.
Yes, Fino, I know. That's the annoying thing. I drive this route regularly to my grandparents. It just couldn't remember where the fuck it was.
Oh, the name of that city is just ripe for a misspelling. Schweinfurt. Okay, that's two languages, but fuck it.
Well, no, the name means pig fort, for the simple reason that, whenever you see a town in Germany called Furt, it means that it's located on a river and that the area of that river or the part of that river is so shallow that animals can walk through it. Which is why Frankfurt is called Frankfurt, because it was a city with a fort that was not taxed. So you could walk across it without having to pay anything. Which is also why the city I live in is called Fürth. It has the same birth stem. for the same reason.
I just had a so-called brain fart. In Denmark, in most cities, larger cities at least, we have these, meals on wheels. Small. There's way smaller than a caravan.
Yeah.
We usually call them restaurants foot cold, or the cold foot restaurants, because you're outside standing while eating sausages and all that. Frankfurt, that's actually a sausage fart then. Because one of the things you can buy is a Frankfurter, which is a thick, spicy, lightly spiced sausage.
Lightly spiced. I think they smell. Oh, they taste like nothing.
Well, especially compared to the bratwurst I tasted in. I know, sounds weird, but in Prague.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't know where that. Well, okay, was that co-created by? I can't even remember what country Prague is in.
Czech Republic.
The Czech Republic and Germany, or were they basically the same?
Well, back then they were basically the same.
Okay.
But
and who is this Frank guy? And is he? Does he know Hot Lips too?
Was that a MASH reference?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I can't remember her first name, but Houlihan. Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan. That's it.
Yeah, I haven't watched much MASH.
You have to watch the whole thing, especially and the movie too. It's not as good as the series.
What the fuck? I don't know. I don't even know that.
I may remember it wrong, incorrectly. It could just be a pilot or a prolonged episode. Maybe, I'm not sure. I'm almost certain there's a movie.
Okay, so I think there's nothing left to debunk today, is there?
There is a movie.
There is a movie
called MASH. Yeah, from the 1970s.
But then that's older than the series.
See, release date January 25th, 1970.
That's much older than the series.
Yeah. Oh well.
So the only thing that we could debunk that is left is some of Subirats' videos, or we could talk about the apologetics website I was talking about. Those are the two possibilities. Let's actually ask the audience again. So 1 for Antonio Subirats, or 2 for apologetics website, or 3 for Quiplash, because somebody just said that they would like to see something.
It's been so long for me in terms of Quiplash, and I would love to, but I just looked at my wall clock. I've been awake for almost 40 hours now.
Ooh.
But then again, the hospital didn't let me sleep for some really weird reason when I visited them either. So it's probably more than 40 hours. No.
Okay, so
after my fight with the curb. Yeah.
That's an awesome story. You have to go more into detail later. Okay, so
it was just a stupid ass mistake. There's nothing special.
Since apparently, well, there are a lot of ones, but a lot of twos as well. I mean, they don't seem to be wanting to see some Quiplash. To go back into detail about this apologetics website, this was something I found actually on Twitter. Steve McRae from the Great Debate Community had a fight with a lady called S.J. Thomason, also known as Lead 1225.
Yeah, exactly.
And she posted a link to a website called ChristianApologist.com, in which they list 5 arguments, questions that apparently atheists can't answer. So this is something I would like to talk about if you guys want that as well.
I'm so sick and tired of it doesn't matter if it's atheists making videos or theists making videos about X answer X questions, the other part can't answer or won't answer or are afraid to answer. Oh, I hate those.
Yeah, there was recently the point made by, was it? I don't think it was G-Man. It was one of the clown posse that said that. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. That atheists on YouTube are all about owning people. And my first response to this was, I know at least one group that is more about owning people on YouTube, and it is slavery advocates.
Yeah. No, not slavery. Indentured servitude.
I asked G-Man, he's in favor of that as well, apparently.
Yeah, fucktard. And he seems to be a bitch, especially. According to Dreadnought, he's a tiny little wimp when somebody confronts him physically, because he's really short. He's shorter. He's way shorter than I haven't been in front of Geostreber, so I don't know how tall he is. But
well, I tell you, dude, I'm not high, man.
Yeah, but no, he is way tinier than microbloganism. As
G-Man or I?
Yeah, G-Man. That's the impression I've gotten.
So if you want to know, I'm about 1 meter and 86 centimeters tall, approximately.
And I'm 184, I think, without the socks.
Yeah, I mean, it depends a little bit on how you're counted. For example, when they measured me for the new ID card, that obviously included the shoes. So I'm probably 1 or 2 centimeters smaller than it says in my ID card. So who fucking knows? I haven't measured myself since, I don't know, 2012 or something. Because why should I? I'm not growing anymore, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, okay.
To the side
not on that axis. Not in the Z axis, anyway.
Fuck you.
No thanks.
Multi-tom-tom. Try and debunk Antonio. Do you have any contact with Antonio? If yes, do me a favor and tell him that he would be invited to join one of my hangouts.
Do you actually believe that multi-tom-tom is tolerated by anyone on both sides? On either side? Sorry?
Maybe.
I think I've seen him troll flat earthers too. I think I've seen him do that. But then again, I mean, he's a creationist Christian. He's a what do you call it? Muslim creationist. Blah 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 blah. I think I've heard most of his crap.
Okay.
No, Fino, but I do have a lot of friends in the LGBT community. Nice. Oh, dear.
Okay, no, I think I'm gonna end this today. Because two videos of talking and a lot of clusterfuck afterwards are enough. Plus, I actually have to be fit tomorrow, so I like to relax a little bit. And
check it out though. Multi-tom-tom is still infatuated with me. He's in love. I think.
Muslim
hopelessly in love. He still thinks that calling me bohomo instead of using the real second. Well, the real third first name is somehow going to get make me angry or something.
It's a shame he doesn't want to talk to you by your real name, which is a Dingleberry hand pump.
Shh! It's the Swedish model. Shh.
God. Okay, so I'd like to end this now. So little bit of an announcement. In 2 weeks, which would be the 14th of October, I will do a new type of hangout or of stream in which I will talk about politics. And
fucking
the reason is simple, that there's an important state election in my state of Bavaria.
Oh yeah, that one.
Which will probably be the second biggest clusterfuck or shit show this year, after the midterm elections in the United States. And
Hey.
the thing about this is that prior to state and federal elections in Germany, there is a online tool made available at a website in which you will be asked a set of questions, and then you will get a recommendation for which party to vote for. And I actually like to talk about this online because it's hilarious.
Hey, by the way,
yeah,
when talking about politics and the different branches, the conservatives and the blah 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 blah, why the hell do you call it a party? Politics is boring as fuck. Why call it a party? Are they trying to make it seem interesting, or what's going on with that?
Because I think that's actually the original meaning of the word party.
Is it?
Yeah.
A group of people, or
group of people, yeah.
Weird.
Yes, exactly, Fino. That's the Valomat is what I'm trying to talk about. Yes, I know it's imprecise, but it's still hilarious. And actually, whenever you do this, I actually end up with a complete opposite result of what I'm usually voting for, which I'm not going to go about or talk about in this Hangout. Because apparently the elections on this side of the Atlantic Ocean are not about irrelevant subjects, and you can actually change something. So, yeah, I want to talk about this.
And either way, it doesn't, well, technically speaking, it doesn't matter who you vote for, because you will never find a political party or a politician that you agree with all the way. There's always some of the points that you don't agree with.
Exactly.
So you win and you lose at the same time.
Which is why the overlap on political positions was 77% for one party. For the highest, like the highest overlap was 77%, and the lowest overlap was 55%. So there's no party in this list that I really could say I would really disagree with, which is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this in 2 weeks. And before, well, I don't know if there's a flat earther showing up, I'll probably do this next week, but there's nothing planned. So probably the Great Bavarian Clusterfuck of 2018 will be my next Hangout in exactly 2 weeks.
Okay, this is weird. I just, I'm tired. I haven't slept all that well, but I just fucked up my own comment there. I meant to use all my first names, but I used just my usual online name. For some reason, even though I didn't use the @ it still highlights it as if I'm tagging myself.
Wait, Rasmussen is not your last name?
Yeah, that's why when I said I messed up. I used I wrote my usual online persona, so to speak, instead of posting my 3 first names.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so anybody in the side chat maybe have some idea what to do? Because afterwards, or alternatively, I'll just end it.
Yeah.
Let's give them 30 seconds. And then I'll have to ask Redtrack and Discuss why the fuck he didn't show up.
Mhm. Und dann lasst uns bumsen. Oh. No. No, not with you. With someone who looks good.
Wait, what? What? No.
I have the beholder thing. Now what?
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, that's a perfect multi-dum-dum. That's a perfect example of how you do not po, because that's just ridiculously bad.
Oh,
it's a bad example of how to po.
Jim B has an idea to do a Blood multiplayer stream. I would, but I don't actually have the license for Blood.
Is that one of them video games?
Would be a bad idea. What?
Is that one of them video games?
Yes, that's probably the goriest one of the 90s.
What? Doom isn't?
No, Doom isn't. Blood is.
Huh. I've never heard
share
that
it
game.
with you later if you want.
I've never heard that name.
Yeah,
I mean, it was Doom and it was Quake. I don't remember.
Yes, exactly. But well, Blood uses the same engine as Duke Nukem 3D, but it was originally made actually by the same company, but they sold the license, and then for some reason it disappeared into obscurity. Even though it's better in my opinion than both Duke Nukem 3D and Doom. It's
so okay. I've probably seen it then. Yeah. So I've probably just seen it, but and not realized that it was not Duke Nukem. I mean, I only played Doom. Oh, any of the Doom games on a DOS-based system or Windows-based. I didn't own it for my Amiga. Back then,
Which Amiga did you have? 500 or a bigger one?
No, I had the 500.
The 500.
But
okay.
I did have a sidecar with a bulging memory boost of, I think it was 8 megabytes and a 20 megabyte hard drive. Can't remember how I got it, but I could not pay that with the money from my a newspaper route. I mean, if I saved up for a year, I would still not have enough money for that thing.
Okay.
8 megabytes of RAM and with a built-in 20 megabyte hard drive for Amiga. Fuck, that was expensive stuff.
Yeah, when exactly did you buy? I think the 500 came out in 1985 or 86.
Oh, I can't remember. I'm terrible with dates. Usually, I can't even remember my own date. I have to start calculating. Hang on. I don't. I don't concentrate on dates unless I eat them. No, I'm not good with numbers, so I can't remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, I can't even remember if I got it as the Amiga as a present or I bought it from my own money.
I'm too young to have had one of those. My first PC was actually running Windows 95.
Yeah, I either bought my Amiga 500 with my own money, or I bought the original, awesome, really, knife edge, sharp image Commodore monitor, and the dot matrix printer. I either bought the Amiga or the printer and monitor. I can't remember. The other one, and the other I got as a present. It's too long ago. Can't remember.
Okay. Well, I'd certainly be open for another DOS stream if you guys want that.
How about playing High Snake? Do you remember that one?
No, I don't.
I played that in the computer classes when the teacher wasn't looking in '95, I think.
Neat.
Woohoo! It was actually cool. I mean, the colors were awesome. They just kept scrolling seamlessly. That was it was actually cool.
Okay, so thank you everybody for watching, and I'm gonna end it now. So see you at most in 2 weeks, I guess, for the Great Bavarian Clusterfuck. Bye.